So I thought I had every excuse possible to not make a reaction video to this Steelers game. It's Christmas Eve. I'm very tired. I thought it was going to be a loss for Pittsburgh at home in the frigid cold with the wind blowing. I thought I would have no reason to do a reaction video. And then we went out and won the game in dramatic fashion. So now I feel like I have to do a video. You can throw the first 3 quarters of this game out. They really don't matter. The fourth quarter is where it was all at for Pittsburgh. They won 13-10. They scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, including the game-winning touchdown with less than a minute left, I believe. So let's go through this a little bit. First off, we did a great job defending the run, which is crucial in a game where it's windy and it's frigid and cold. And I think really it comes down to defense line, mainly Cameron Heyward playing like a man possessed the past couple weeks. He did not make the Pro Bowl this year, at least not as a starter. He is an alternate, I believe. He could get on the roster at the end of the day. I'm not surprised he didn't make the Pro Bowl, considering some of the guys they put in, Chris Jones, Quinn Williams, and I believe, I'm blanking on the name now. I think it was the Tennessee defensive tackle, which makes total sense. Jeffrey Simmons. It makes total sense. But Cameron Heyward, I think, is definitely in that list of guys who deserves recognition for what he's done this year. He's been a man possessed the past couple weeks. He's been awesome. So the defense did a really good job containing the run. Josh Jacobs was one of the best running backs in the NFL this season. 15 carries for 44 yards, 2.9 yards per carry. Tremendous job by a defensive front. And then, of course, the secondary came through as well. 3 interceptions of Derek Carr. There's one where Minkah Fitzpatrick kind of catch. I think actually 2 of them were on deflections. The one where to Arthur Mellett was a deflection. The one that Minkah Fitzpatrick was a deflection. And as usual, Minkah is in the right place at the right time almost all the time. He gets a ton of interceptions that way, and we love him for it. I mean, he's just, at some point, it's not like it's just the skill. And he is very skillful at being at the right place to take advantage of situations like that. And, of course, Cameron Sutton steals the game. It's a bad throw by Derek Carr down the middle of the field. Looked like maybe a seam route potentially being run. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was actually run for us, so probably not. But bad throw by Derek Carr, misplaced, and Cameron Sutton comes in for a diving interception. That was a really cool way to end the game. So again, yeah, really windy conditions, really cold, 13-10. It was just about as poor of a showing as the overall temperature in the real field might tell you. It was very cold this entire weekend for most of the country. But Pittsburgh actually did a better job throwing the ball than Las Vegas. Kenny Pickett, 25 for 39 for 244 yards. A touchdown and interception compared to only 174 yards for Derek Carr on 16 completions and 30 attempts. So Pittsburgh actually won through the air, and we ran the ball more often on the ground, which is part of the reason why we had more success rushing. 16 carries for 53 yards for Najee Harris. So just 3.3 yards per carry. Again, we're still really struggling to run the ball with any kind of level of efficiency this year. Part of that's the offensive line. Part of that is Najee Harris just not having the bounce and having the speed and acceleration to really take advantage of whatever the line gives him, which is really not a lot, let's be honest. Pat Fryer was 7 receptions for 66 yards. Deontay Johnson heavily used today, 5 catches for 64 yards. And, of course, George Pickens, who had the game-winning touchdown, 5 catches for 57 yards. And finally got Najee involved as a receiver. 6 catches for 42 yards today, including a long and 19, which I think came towards the end of the game. I think during that fourth quarter game-winning drive. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was. But this is something I've been talking about recently, not so much in these videos, but just kind of behind the scenes. Najee hasn't really been involved in the passing game nearly as much this year as he was last year. I think that's a pretty big deal, especially considering someone like Kenny Pickett really needs to take what he's given. He is a young quarterback. He makes a lot of mistakes. And if you watch him, he likes to hold the ball. He wants to do what he did in college. He wants to be a creative, off-platform, outside-the-pocket kind of quarterback who makes plays on the move with hurting guys downfield. He's just not, he wants to be that. And he can't be that in the NFL right now. He's not talented enough to do that. So, and frankly, he might never be. There's some physical limitations there that he got away with in college. He won't get away with that in the NFL. So he needs to take checkdowns. He needs to throw the ball to Najee Harris. He needs to make full usage of those short routes, those immediate options. And he hasn't really done that a ton this year. So I'm glad to see he did more of that today, especially in a situation where it's windy, it's cold. It's going to be a tougher situation for a player like Pickett to have a lot of success in. But he did fairly well. There's still a lot of things I don't love about this game. Frankly, I thought this was one of his worst games. I know he missed the past couple of weeks. I know he's kind of out of rhythm because he was playing better before he got hurt. He went out with an concussion. But I think he came back and was cold today. He was not particularly great until the final drive where he basically hit everything he needed to succeed and then delivered a dart to George Pickens for the game-winning touchdown. But there's a lot of room for improvement there. I think he's going to be a bit of a hot and cold player early in his career because he already has been. I think he's going to continue to be that for a little while. Anything else I want to really talk about? There's not a ton. Boswell misses 2 kicks. Again, it's cold, it's windy. You kind of expect that. Pittsburgh Stadium tends to generate a little bit of a gust in certain areas, so I'm not entirely shocked by that. We won the time possession battle. We dominated them until yardage. 350 yards for us compared to 201 yards for the Raiders. They had 3 turnovers. We only had the 1. We had 19 first downs. They had 13. So overall, when we played on paper, we won this game. From all those stats, from those numbers, you would expect us to win, and we did. You would probably expect us to win by more than 3 points, which we didn't, but hey, you know what? A win is a win, and the dream is still alive to get Mike Tomlin to another winning season. We need to win out here. We're 7-8 currently. Losing to Baltimore and their third-string quarterback really hurt us. That really hurt. We needed that win. We needed the win a couple weeks ago. We fortunately didn't get it. We played Baltimore again, and we might get Tyler Huntley. We might get Lamar Jackson. That's I think a New Year's Day game. Yeah. And that's on CBS. And we play Cleveland at the end of the year. So we win both those games. We get Tomlin to another winning record. Unfortunately, it's going to be very close. I don't know if we'll get both of them. We might get one. I think we'll get one. I'm not sure we're going to get both. We really, really needed that Ravens win that we got a couple weeks ago and couldn't quite get that. Anyways, I don't really have much else to talk about. I think, actually, I kind of forgot TJ Watt was playing this game, I'll be honest. Watt didn't really jump off the page to me that much in this game. Like I said, he's been kind of hit or miss since coming back from injury this year. Highsmith, I know he got the 1 sack on like a stunt, but he really wasn't dominant in this game either. It really was Cameron Heyward and the interior defense line getting a lot of push. Him and Ogunjobi doing a pretty good job of getting interior pressure on Derek Carr. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Merry Christmas, guys. Enjoy the holiday season.